Welcome to the Mom's View. We have some incredible guests, but before we introduce them, we're going to kind of preface where we're at. We're down in Utah filming. Kaylee and I are getting ready for our maternity leave. Yes. Is that what we're calling it? We can call it that?
Yes, that's what we won't actually be gone because we'll still be uploading, but...
We're going to kind of take the month of April off. So we've lined up a bunch of guests today, and we're excited to have this incredible family on.
Thank you.
They are the Gardner Quad Squad, correct?
Yes.
You got it.
They have 4 and 2 sets of identicals.
Yes.
That's amazing. And this is Ashley and Tyson. They were just on the Ellen show. They also have a show on TLC. They're YouTubers. Like, the list goes on. Yep. Am I missing anything?
No, we wear a bunch of hats. We kind of do everything.
I can't even imagine. How old are your girls?
They're 2.
They're 2.
Yep, they
so,
just turned
goodness.
2.
I have 1 2-year-old little boy. He's almost 3, and I can hardly keep up on just what, like, my channel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you're doing it all.
It's crazy. I mean, we don't know any different, though. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
our norm is to have 4 2-year-olds.
Right.
So we are kind of, you know, lucky in the way that we don't know what it's like just to have one. So
Baptism by fire. It was just
yeah,
like, here you
just
go.
we're done. One and done.
So tell us about your guys' journey, how that all happened.
Sure.
And
Okay, so we struggled with infertility for 8 years, and we had tried several different infertility treatments, and nothing was working for us. We had our adoption papers all filled out, and we were going to do adoption, and I just had this really strong feeling. I was like, I just feel like we need to do IVF just one time.
Right.
And so we went in and we did IVF, and I have endometriosis. Mm-hmm. And so they gave me a 40% chance of having 1 baby and said this was my last shot. I have no more eggs left. And if I ever wanted to do this again, I'd have to get an egg donor or just adoption. Like they literally took my last 2 eggs that I had. Mm-hmm. My 1 egg was a grade A and my second egg was a grade D. And later the doctor told me that he just put that second egg back just to give me more hope. Mm-hmm. Did not think it was going to stick, let alone split as well. And yeah, I mean, we both, like I said, both eggs stuck and both split. And now we have 2 sets of identical twin girls. It really is.
God doesn't know statistics. We believe in that with all of our hearts. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we were devastated when they told us, you know, 40% for 1. I mean, that was the day of implantation as well. So we were like already stressed out. Mm-hmm. And then here they are, you don't have any more eggs. And by the way, here's your odds. And so, I mean, incredibly stressful time, but I mean, such an awesome experience to watch that miracle unfold and just to see.
And to be on the recipient end of that.
Exactly.
And it's so crazy how doctors have a canny way of really just saying things. Like, I remember Jackson and I never obviously went through half of what you guys went through, but we tried for 9 months. And I have a little boy who's 9, and so when they started bringing up, you know, that there could be problems with Jackson, they would drop like tumor, cancer. I'm like, whoa, it's a Monday. There's no need for those
We're
words.
not talking about this.
Let's ease into what could be going wrong. And they just say it so, but in their world, you know, those words are, I'm sure.
Just every day.
Yeah, everyday words. But I'm sure when they said them to you guys, that was very devastating. And
Well, you said something it really strikes a chord, and I think it's so important. And a lot of people kind of get scared by that. And initially we were as well, but I think over the course of our journey, it was such a high-risk pregnancy. We were so grateful for how blunt they were because there was nothing that scared us. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And they were talking about things ahead of time like TTTS. One set of our twins developed TTTS, which is twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, where one twin is taking all the nutrients, the other is not getting any. I mean, that could have been detrimental to all 4. Right. But we were so well rehearsed on that by the doctors that when it happened, we knew what we had to do.
They were so upfront.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we knew, okay, we're booking a flight to LA. There's only 5 surgeons in the country that do that. So
it's like a surgery that you would only think would happen on Grey's Anatomy.
Yes.
Like you would think it was not a real life surgery, but like the fact that they can, for real, like the fact that they can go in and just like make a hole through your stomach and like perform fetal surgery on these babies, it's like mind-blowing.
While you were pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah, I was 19 weeks and I was dilated to a 3. Mm-hmm. If they would have caught me 1 day later, I would have gone into full-blown labor and I would have lost all 4 of them. Oh my gosh. And so it was crazy. I mean, this TTTS was seriously, it was intense, but
it was an intense pregnancy, to say the least.
I'm sure because it's like going through that roller coaster of getting pregnant and then you got pregnant and then you had 4 and then, oh my gosh.
Can you imagine our emotions during this time?
I
you know,
can't
8 years
imagine the amounts of
infertility,
chocolate I would have consumed.
Finding out you're pregnant, then find out you're having quads, then you have a surgery. I mean,
What
Life
was
is
that
not
day
boring.
like when you found out that you were having 4?
Oh
I'll
my
let
gosh.
Ashley tell you about that.
Good thing I was laying down because I mean we were just hoping, like we were honestly we were praying for twins and we were hoping for at least one, because this was it. This was my last shot. I wasn't gonna be able to do this again, and so we were just praying for twins. And we go in and the ultrasound tech puts the ultrasound on and she immediately sees 2 sacs and she's like, oh, you have twins. And we're like, yay, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is exactly what we wanted. And she's like, hold on. And she keeps getting closer and closer to the screen. And of course, me being mom panicker, I'm like, oh my gosh, like they don't have heartbeats.
Yeah.
Like I lost them. You know, that is my first thought. And she's like, hold on. And she kept staring. And I swear it was like 3 hours.
It seemed like
But it was
forever.
like 10 seconds, I'm sure. But I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, you can hear your heartbeat in your ears. Like, oh my gosh. And she's like, wait, there's 4 in there. And I was like, oh, I think I said a couple curse words. It's like, oh my gosh, is this even physically possible? Like, it was terrifying. I mean, you get like every emotion. Like, I remember my face, like, I wish we would have been vlogging at this time in my life, because my face, I think I was like, oh gosh, I'm so excited, oh my gosh. Like, I was just like, it was like a constant,
It's
like,
always those moments that are the best that you miss on the camera. You're like, ugh.
exactly.
Well, luckily for us, we did have our photographer with us. It would have been funner for the video because you could caught every emotion, but I mean, she caught such candid moments, and you know, that day was the start of something special, because those photos of us actually holding up our ultrasound, that's what went viral and really sent us off into, you know, outer space. I mean, sometimes that's what we call it. I mean, our phones melted after that, literally.
So cool.
It was crazy, but such an incredible day and really a journey for us.
How did you feel as a dad when you found out you're having
Oh,
4
gosh.
girls?
It was such a moment of mixed emotions. I mean, I think we were both really kind of like, we want the best of both worlds. Wouldn't it be cool if one set was boys, one set was
Right.
girls? And Ashley, once again, we had our photographer, and they captured my face, you know, when they announced, oh, girls. And so, you know, you kind of see me going, oh, no.
There's
you know?
actually a video. There is a video of him. I had her record as well as take photos, and there's a video, and I'm laying on the table, and he's standing up holding my hand, just looking at the thing. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, these are girls. And we're like, yay. And we like celebrate and kiss. And then he's like, okay.
Tyson's holding his breath.
And he's like, okay, come on, boys. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, that's a girl. And he's like, and then he lets go of my hand, and he's like it's like seriously like 2 minutes of him just like,
I was thinking hard. You know, I'm the oldest of 10. 8 of us are boys.
Okay.
I didn't know a lot about girls. I mean,
It's Heavenly
we grew
Father's
up-
way of paying you back. It's
Yeah,
like
I
all
was kinda
girls.
like, yeah, and you know what? Honestly, though, I would not have it any other way. I love my girls. I wouldn't know what to do with boys now that I've had my girls. I'm like, I love this so much. It's so special. And they all come with their own personality.
Yeah.
They're just so incredible. So
Just wait till I turn 16. You'll see a lot of
I know.
personalities.
keep saying that.
Just enjoy right now.
I'm
in this
enjoying the
moment,
time.
and yes.
Exactly.
There's
So,
something so special, though, about a dad and daughter. Like, me and my dad are just, like, I love that
Exactly.
man, you know?
It's so
And
true.
even now, like, I'll have car troubles. And I bless Jackson's heart. He has never done anything wrong. But my natural instinct is call my daddy.
Oh, I
like,
love that.
Dad, what kind of oil does my car take? You're 30 years old, Carly. You should know this.
I love hearing that. You know, and I hope we have a relationship like that, too,
You
with
will,
all of my
yeah.
daughters.
they will. They're all daddy's girls. They'll all go to him over me every day.
They're so cute. So tell us about your, like, day-to-day functions as, 4 2-year-olds. I was stalking your Instagram, and I was like, Jackson, can you imagine 4 car seats? Like, how do you do that? You can't go anywhere alone.
Yeah, no, and car seats are a nightmare. Like, if we go out on a date night and we take friends, we're like, oh, you're driving. I am not taking
Yeah.
these car seats out of my car. Like, that's not happening. That is a nightmare. And so, our day, it's crazy and fun. And, you guys are lucky that we didn't bring him here. Your whole set would have been torn down.
This place would have been torn apart, you know.
would've.
They're at that busy, curious age, so.
Your donuts would have been gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those would have been the first things to go.
But yeah.
First of all, though, the one blessing is that we both get to work from home.
Yeah.
And so before, I think we start off as, that is really how we've kept our sanity, honestly, is we split everything down the middle. You know, there's not one thing that one, does over the other. We share all of our responsibilities. We wear the same hats.
Yeah. Dads take notes. Moms take notes.
That is helpful. I feel like my husband and I have had that same relationship because when we're now both working at home, but when we worked, we also took on those roles because we were both working.
Right.
So it was never like, this is your job and this is your job. It was our job and we were a team.
Absolutely.
So
I love
do think
hearing that
that's
because,
really important.
and especially what you said about being a team is like, honestly, for us, I feel like it's almost enhanced our marriage, because there's not these levels and no one is more important or doing more things or, do you know what I mean? Like we share everything.
You just respect each other
exactly.
and you know what you're both going.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, our house has to be like a well-oiled machine. I mean, when there is 4 and they're going in 4 different directions and we're also running 4 different businesses, we are a team and we have to be on the same page. If we're not on the same page, everything comes crashing down that day. And it's nice to do it together because when he goes out of town or I go out of town or something and you have other people come in, you have to tell them, hey, do this, hey, do that. Like with us, it's just it just does it. Yeah, we just do it. And it just is this really well-oiled machine and everything just happens, and we're a very scheduled. You have to be so super scheduled, which is funny because we are actually, before we had kids, no schedule. We didn't even know what that was.
I would be terrible at that.
And I was so scared the whole time I was pregnant. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to live by a schedule now. I can't do this. I'm a free spirit. Don't lock me down to freedom. Yes. And so, it works great though. I mean, we are. We're just managing, really. And some days you just keep your head above water. Right. And we definitely fall and fell some days, but you just pick yourself back up.
Some days you just are grateful you're still alive.
Yes, and I'm everyone is breathing.
You did your job. The kids are alive. Right. We made it. They're in bed. We can rest. So.
And I saw sometimes we need to take a little break and have a little treat break in the closet by ourselves.
Pantry,
yes, it's maybe a little licorice. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but it went viral, it was actually on Ellen, and they got to go on Ellen and take your girls.
Yes.
I loved seeing that, all of them coming out and just
scattering.
Scattering.
Oh, you should have seen backstage. They ruined her backstage. The props were gone. The plants were dead. They had uprooted them. It was. The staff was incredible. We had so much fun there, and Ellen is so generous. I mean, she gave us a trip to Hawaii for the entire family.
Yeah. She did.
She is
I
so
love
kind.
that woman.
She's so kind.
And she is seriously just like you would think she is in person. She is so down to earth. I was super nervous going out on stage, and then I get out there and she starts talking to me and I'm like, oh, have we been friends for 100 years? Right. Because you make it feel that way.
Yeah. I've heard from people who have met her that she just has really kind eyes.
She does that. I noticed that.
Yeah, and I think that makes you feel so comfortable if you can look at someone in their eyes and just feel that comfort immediately.
Yes. So. That is, seriously, I haven't been able to pin it, and that's exactly what it was. It's her eyes. I mean, when she looks at you, she looks into your soul.
Which makes you feel like you've been friends for 100 years.
It makes you feel like she's known you, and I mean, she is so sweet. So
that's so refreshing to know, because there's so many people on TV. I'm sure that it's not what you see is what you get.
Yeah,
but she's one of those people that you feel like that is true.
She genuinely is. Just
it reaffirmed our faith in that, because you see all these things and literally, I mean, you see how much good she does, but I mean, being there and just actually being a part of it, you're like, yeah, this woman is for real. It's just it's so cool to see people who have that platform to do something amazing with them.
Right. Yeah.
Good for her. We love you, Ellen. If you want to have the moms you on, right, we will come on there with you.
I also saw that you guys were going to fly out there, but then you needed tickets and didn't have them. And I was just feeling for you because I can't imagine getting everyone to the airport and then having them tell you couldn't get on the plane.
Yeah, so that story is a crazy one. We've never flown with kids before. I mean, flying with 4 kids was never something that we were like, let's just go do that.
That's 2 rows of the plane.
Yeah, it is. And so we've just never flown anywhere, so I didn't know anything about the airlines, and they booked it all, and I guess there was some sort of miscommunication, and they thought that we were able to carry the girls on our laps, and so they had booked our tickets and then 2 helpers, because we were like, we cannot fly on a plane by ourselves with 4 2-year-olds.
Oh, so they booked 4 adult seats.
So they booked 4 adult seats so that we could bring helpers.
And they were supposed to have lap riders.
Oh, okay.
But when we got there, the ticket agent was like, hold on.
You need tickets, and
these girls all need tickets.
But wait, don't skip ahead. I mean, it was a nightmare getting to the airport, loading them all up. That morning, I think they knew something was up. They were nightmares the whole way up to the airport, screaming their heads off the whole way through the airport, through security. We're like holding 2 babies. He's holding 2 babies, and they're like, pulling your strollers through, and you're just like shaking.
So just you 2 went?
No, we had our 2 helpers.
Oh, good.
And so we went through, and then we were there like, an hour early, so we got some breakfast for the girls, and we're like, okay, cool. And then we get to go load on the plane, and they tell us we can't. They need tickets.
Of course they would wait until you went through security. Not even when you get your tickets. Of course they would let you go through all
Yes, they let us get all the way through, wait until we're literally standing at the gate like, here, let us on. And they were like, oh, sorry, you have to have tickets, which isn't their fault.
Right.
I mean, we just didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
And so we go, and every flight is booked completely. And so they're like, oh my gosh, so we're waiting around for like an hour, and then we go back home, and then they finally call us back. We put the girls down for a nap, thankfully. And we're like laying there like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Let's cancel the whole thing.
Right.
And they call us back and like, okay, we have 2 options for you. We have a flight that goes out at 8 p.m. tonight, and you can bring your helpers, but you're going to have to go to Seattle and have like a 3-hour layover and then go. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, not happening. And they're like, or we can fly you out at 7. Our girls' bedtime is at 7. Mm-hmm. Which they're very scheduled girls. So they're like, we can fly you out at 7 p.m. tonight, first class, straight into Burbank. So you're like 5 minutes from your hotel, but you can't take your helpers with you. And we're like, oh gosh. Of course, that's the option we chose, because I was like not going to have a 3-hour layover in the middle of the night with the girls. And so we made it through, and I got on the plane and apologized to all of the people riding in first class.
You just stand up. I just want you all to know.
Yes. And I said, I'm like, if you guys applaud when we get off the plane, I will not blame you.
You know what? They were incredible. There was this old grandpa man, and he was like helping
so
Esme
sweet.
pick up her toys, and he was, and then this couple behind us, they were so enthralled, and they happened to know one of the producers at Ellen. She's like texting the guy like, hey, we're sitting behind the Gardners. You better take care of these guys because they are going through a lot right now. I mean, it was incredible. So everybody was just so like giving and awesome, and I mean, honestly, they made the flight just bearable.
Honestly,
really
I cannot thank that man enough. He was right behind Esme. So they had 2 seats on each side over here, or 3 seats on this side, and then 1 seat. So we had to have Esme by herself over here in this 1 seat. I was here, and there was an aisle, and then there was 2 babies, and then Tyson had.
That was 1 and 2.
Oh, it was 1 and 2. That's
1 and
right.
2, yeah.
That was
but
2,
they were all
2
split,
and
so.
1. Yeah. So there was us, a baby, and then another baby on the other side of us, and we were split by an aisle. And the guy behind Esme, he just kept
so
reaching
cute.
behind her chair, handing her toys the entire
I bet he loved that as
flight.
much as you guys,
He
though.
was so.
You know?
was
I was
awesome.
like, I'm sorry. He's like, I really don't mind. And then when
He
we
had
get
grandkids. He
He
got
got it.
and then we get off the plane, he's like, I thought this was going to be a boring flight. It was not.
You're like, we will always keep your life interesting.
Yes. We were exhausted, but yeah, we got there, and it was so worth it. Like, Ellen's staff is amazing. It was just so much fun to be
How was
there.
the flight home?
I know, I'm like, now we have another half of the trip.
So yeah, the flight home it wasn't as bad actually. My family flew out separately the morning of Ellen, and then they flew back, and we all flew back that night. So they did like a day trip, but they were on different flights. But my dad happened to be on our flight, but he was in the back, and I went and tried to upgrade his seat to come up to the front. They're like, sorry, you can't do it. And so we were like, oh, okay, it's fine. We'll just figure out the 4 of them by ourselves. And we were sitting at the gate just waiting for it to load, and I think the lady at the ticket counter was watching us, and we were like trying to change them all into their pajamas and change all their diapers. She comes over and she's like, I upgraded his ticket for you. I was like, thank you.
This will just make it easier for everyone.
I'm like, honestly, everyone surrounding us will be very grateful that you moved him up to the front to help us. And so, honestly, they just fell asleep on the flight about halfway through, and it really wasn't.
It was smooth sailing.
It wasn't
At that
too
point,
bad.
sometimes
so.
though, don't you hold your breath like they're asleep? Don't move.
Oh yeah,
Don't breathe.
I had 2 babies laying on me asleep, and I was holding one, and I was like, if this plane has turbulence, I swear, I'm gonna lose it. Nobody move.
So you guys have so much going on, businesses, 4 baby girls, 2-year-olds, and what are your tips for like keeping a good schedule? Like you said, your house is like a well-oiled machine. What are your tips and tricks for everyone out there who's looking for some balance?
Honestly, it is just being on the same page with your spouse. I mean, I think that is huge. And we're not perfect. We have days when we are not on the same page. Sometimes we're not even in the same book. And so, in those days, it's just like you're trying to keep your head above water. And so trying just as much as you can to be on the same page with your spouse. And like for me, I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I have all of these businesses that we run, and I'm like a checklist type person now that I have the girls. And, you know, obviously my girls come first, and so we take care of them and we only work when they sleep. But some days you just have to realize that it's not going to be perfect. And I think that is my biggest tip to other moms trying to schedule everything is some days it's not going to go well, and that's okay. And it's like we said before, as long as everyone's alive at the end of the day, some days that's all that matters. Right. And so honestly, just don't be so hard on yourself and take it easy. It's not always going to be easy to be super scheduled. And some days it works great. And like I said, we're a well-oiled machine. And then there's those days that we fall and we fell. And, you know, this business got zero attention today because the girls were screaming all day long, but they got the attention that they needed. And that's okay. And you have to realize that that's okay. Right. And you just pick up tomorrow and you just try again. And that's the best you can do.
I feel like with our line of business, there's never a point where you're done with work. Like there's always more to be doing. And I always constantly feel like at the end of the day, like I could have done more. And such a good point, like your family got your attention, and that's the most important.
You hit the nail on the head for us too, is we feel that exact same thing every day. But one thing we try and focus on is that even though these businesses provide a living for us, I mean, honestly, like our children are number one though, and they always will be. And so we feel like if they've got the attention that they needed that day and we didn't get all of our business stuff done, then we won. Right. Today was a win. And so, you know, you balance, it's all a balancing act. Every parent knows that. And that's actually hit the nail on the head though, is you're not perfect. Probably any day.
You guys are pretty close. Like you sound like you've got it together.
We fall down a lot.
Every day.
That's the key is, you know, you just pick yourself up and you do the very best that you can. And I'll tell you this, being in the public eye and being on all of our social platforms and doing TLC, a national show, you get a lot of opinions.
Right. Oh my gosh, what? There's opinions on the internet?
Yeah, exactly. I don't let me tell you this. I would say this advice to anyone is be true to yourself, because so many people want to tell you, you know, their opinions, how they did it, what they think. I mean, they're not in your shoes.
Yeah.
We give people, when we vlog, maybe 12, 15 minutes of our day.
Yeah.
And people think
they know you.
They know you. They know your kids. They know everything about what's going on. And as good intention as most people are, they don't know everything. And so I would always just say it's okay to see those and read those and understand where they're coming from with their opinions, but I'm still going to stay true to myself. I'm here. We're living it. We handle this every single day. And, you know, our parental instincts are what they are for a reason. And there's a reason why we do what we do. So that's always my advice to everybody out there is always stay true to who you are.
Follow your heart. I like that what you said, like, it's kind of like celebrating the small successes. You know, like, maybe I didn't do all my business today, but I did a little laundry, my kids are alive and they're fed. Like, celebrate those little things.
I didn't get a shower, but my kids are fed, and that's important.
Dry shampoo is great, you know?
Yeah, dry shampoo is my best friend.
I might sneeze and dust comes out of my hair, but we're good. Well, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for inviting us.
It was so much fun.
We're, lucky to have them. They're on Ellen. Geez, always big deals. We'll leave all their links for their YouTube and their Instagram down below, so make sure you guys follow them and give them a lot of love. They need double the love, you know?
Quadruple the love.
Yeah, quadruple. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
And you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion.